Hi, how are you all? Today I am going to talk about why is it hard to pursue art in India. I know pursuing art everywhere could be a bit challenging considering the income stability and pursuing it might be costly, but just have patience and listen to me cause it's not about the hardship of having it as career but wanting to have it. Also, it's not about my personal experiences. I would share that sometime later, but now let's check some aspect of our country that really affects art career or career in general which are not conventional. So let's read this Reddit post of a 24-year-old female states that I did my undergraduate in computer science from a top tier college. I love theoretical computer science, but I don't want to pursue it as career. I'm not interested in programming and I can't imagine myself working an office job. I did not join the company I was placed in. I was always interested in visual arts as a kid, but that was seen as a silly hobby and later a time waste. Now I want to know if I can make it as career, but I have no idea what to study nor do I know anyone from that stream. My final goal is to have a studio or a website where I can sell my products. I am more interested in sculpture, ceramic art and pottery, etc. Now what really got wrong here that knowing her interests, she purposefully chose something that she doesn't desire to pursue. Just like this one, it's a service level cases. There's a majority cases are more complicated and good thing in her case late but she understood from inside where she really wants to see herself. You could argue that everyone wants to own a business and social media fame to be a top notch, but not everyone wants that. Someone's success might be a over romanticized simple life with a small business which is stable enough to pay your bills or getting paid for something you like to do. There could be so many things to point out for the reasons that leads people to choose something that they don't desire or not satisfied with. So let's see those points. First is cultural diversity. I know India is a culturally diverse and colorful country. No one could argue that. With that, we are festive people celebrating all throughout the years and different forms of gods and goddesses in those celebrations are depicted and worshipped from different rooted cultures originating from same Hindu beliefs. Although we originally have so many diverse forms art, but we are not so open-minded when it comes to modern art. Cause our we are really familiar with our gods and goddesses and even our ancient erotic imagery from our temples, but I feel somehow the mass netizens don't have the knowledge of those imagery and depictions. That's why they can't keep it together when a modern artist draws and depicts powerful sides of accepting and embracing every bit of your body through gods and goddesses. Also, I feel as he is a man from certain religion, it becomes a sick-minded old person's fantasies and attempts to tarnish Hindu religion. But on the other hand, same powerful depictions are also done by Hindu religious female like Kogi Saroj Pal. It doesn't receive same amount of backlash. I feel like I have dropped some bomb there. It's a controversial topic, but I am very sure about what I said. From my art perspective, I find his arts really powerful and somehow modernized. With all this, I hope you get the idea of mass netizens' perspective on modern art. Also, as it's a huge level controversy, let's talk about other stuffs and forms of art like Indian classical dancing, which become automatically out of the list just because you are born in a strict family, which is most of the families are. Although some parents might let their children learn dance, it's just for hobby for a while to show off your dancing skills to relative until you hit the puberty. No more dancing around. And with this, boys do pursue art form of this dancing, but few continues this too cause families also don't like that their man child is dancing. Like, it's also a stereotypical thought. So there's countless aspect for not just art, like any sports too. And we are not so accepting of our cultural artistic forms, or maybe respective enough to pursue it as a career. Okay, let's talk about social attitudes. So, do you have a nosy neighbor who always finds her nose all up in your business? Everyone might have one or two nosy neighbor considering where you live, but India is a place where everyone is that annoying neighbor. Houses are so close together that they practically see and might even participate in your family issues. It's just so normal. One thing also about them, they care for you more than your own parents do for you, and they care for you more than they care for their own child, because maybe their neighbor is there to care more for them. Jokes aside, it is how India is. Now, ironically, these neighbors are sometimes do really care and love, but not much than their kids, obviously. But they do behave that way and expect more from you. And these expectations is just to put you and their kid in a competition. So automatically you are in a competition to keep up with the expectations of them without even your knowledge. So automatically society does select your career choices as our society perceives different careers in special respectful manner. With that, few career choices are only options you can have to have a successful and respectful lifestyle in India. In an April 2023 article by Economic Times states that the major problem here is that the culture of seeking career guidance from a certified expert is still a nascent concept in our country. 5,225 students from class 9 to 12 in private and public schools across 16 states, only 13.2% of surveyed received career guidance from professional. The rest considered advice from people in their close circle as career guidance. Despite endless career opportunities in the current employment landscape, a large number of individuals still state their traditional 5 or 6 career options. So, society holds a attitude where a technical degree such as engineering is often perceived to have higher economic returns as compared to degrees in arts and humanities. This lack of awareness for young population leading to disappointment in the future when individuals realize they have taken inappropriate decisions in influence of parents, friends or teachers. Just like having this societal attitude, the exposure to broader range of information and opportunities gets hindered. Having a limited range of models influences young people's opinions about the areas in which they envision themselves working. In this whole scenario, a bigger portion of students also don't have the access to a right degree, a proper college, and most of all, a finance. In that case, choosing something that has the stigma of earning more rather than the one in which they don't have enough information and might had a better potential. In a 2019 article by India Today states that 93% Indian students are only aware of just 7 career options. Students are not really aware of career options and potential of that and ready to follow societal norms. On top of this, we don't have much access to art colleges and courses to the colleges we have access to due to uneven distribution of opportunities in urban and rural areas, where urban areas hold more art galleries and host art programs, and cities tend to have art industry and studios, but rural areas people never get the opportunity to have a experience of art up close. In everything also, a support system is a big influence and comfort zone for encouragement. So, in the first section of Reddit post, did you notice the last paragraph? If not, let's look into it together. Here she says that right now my plan is to go back to CS and join in a job and start from there because my parents probably will get a heart attack if they know this. But can I do something else which doesn't waste my time and I can dedicate my complete focus to build this up? The biggest support system in a student's life can be their parents, their mentors, or their friends. But in here, parents are the biggest mentor and influence on their child's life. In a 2014 study states that 51% of Indian parents' biggest priority is their child's successful career. And after Brazil and China, we are the country who influence and shape most of our kids' career path. Indian parents also tend to spend more on private tutoring despite having financial hardship. All this intense career orienting and competitiveness towards one particular career option leads a constant pressure of success and responsibility on the child. Without knowing, Indian parents becomes biggest villain of their child's career exploration and life experiences. The expression of an individual's own needs is typically indifference to valuing the needs of others. Becomes true when parents put the burden of their unfulfilled desires onto their child to achieve leading clinical depression, anxiety, and even self harm. Although these words might sound so much deep and might not be true, but these are true as rock hard. So, Indian students might have it hard to have a support system, let alone encouragement from their close one to pursue something they do have a passion on. At last, considering everything, it's much harder to pursue art in India. Although everyone have different experiences, but one thing sure that everyone has to fight more for what they want to do in here. Art especially was an expensive and elite hobby too, where in past most well-known artists were from elite upper caste families or landlords. Yes, exceptions were there, but most people who were mostly deprived, every basic needs never had even the information of art existence, and majority of Indian now too just keep themselves blinded from these aspects. As I know, most art galleries, art exhibitions, competitions, and even classical dance and drama and musical theaters are always empty. There could be so many perspective and other factors too to prove that it's hard to pursue art as career. Also with this now things are changing I feel due to our recent pop culture showing these problems and adapting medias that are advanced art animation and VFX uses, also showing general public that there's a bigger career chances at these degrees in industries. Also, our generation who have experience and have knowledge of this might change the direction of care choice influence over kid. And to make this happen, we should look into our whole education system, make even opportunities and understanding the value of art ourselves. Things are changing and I can only hope for good.